Is there some way to get 50?
January 1st is viewed as a time of new beginnings. For birders, the yearly species totals are moved back to zero, and everything is new. For this reason, the first of the year has become something of a phenomenon to birders who are interested in keeping track of their year totals. As an annual tradition, each first of the year, we go out and try to find as many species as possible. This year, we built a route focusing on 2 of the largest cities in the state. Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2023. We are out on the first of the year, as is tradition, to see how many birds we can find. We are headed out to Madison to look for some cool stuff. So it's been kind of sleety and rainy, and Madison and Milwaukee are kind of the big hot spots it feels right now. So we're going to start in Madison, then maybe head east as the day continues. We'll see kind of how we hit on other things, but always excited to see what the first bird of the year is. Normally it's been like an American crow, so we'll see if that tradition continues, and hopefully we have a good day here. We arrived at our first location before the sun came up, hearing a few species before actually seeing any. At the spring trail, tons of stuff going on. There's tons of chirps. I think cardinal is technically the first one because I heard the chirp, and then mallards calling, turkeys calling. It's a good way to wake up.
Turkey. Don't have to go searching random fields now. Just heard crow, chickadee, and junco. The mallards are still there. So a lot of the common backyard birds are out here.
It's a very herd-only morning.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll see stuff as the sun comes up. We're waiting for Eric to get here.
When we were joined by Eric and some of our other friends, we picked up a few more species, including some that were out of season. We got some great finds so far. We had the kingfisher, chickadee, robin, picked up house sparrow, goldfinch, blue jay. Now we are heading to our next location at the Arboretum, and all the turkeys and mallards went to this one person's backyard and she was out feeding them, so it was kind of a goofy sight to see them. We were trying to track down this call, so that took us away from kind of where we were going, but now we are going to walk over there. So I feel like we're off to a great start today. Lots of different species here in Madison so far. Walking along the trails of the Arboretum, we found 3 woodpecker species that were new for the day, as well as a red-tailed hawk, fox sparrow, and house finch. Further down the trail, we found some open water where a male wood duck and a few gadwall were swimming. In this area, we also had an American tree sparrow and a new hawk species. We got what appears to be a Cooper's hawk up here, which is a good find because they can always be kind of tricky. Kind of almost have to just stumble across one. After concluding our walk through part of the Arboretum, we made a quick stop to try and find a Carolina wren that had been reported the day before. No sign of the Carolina wren, but we did have a herd-only red-breasted nuthatch. Would kind of like to spend more time here, but when you're trying to get a high total for the day, you don't want to spend too much time chasing something that might not be there. I feel like it's around somewhere, but we're going to head to our next location. Up next was University Bay. With little open water, there wasn't much to see, but we did get our first look at Canada geese, as well as a new sparrow.
We just got a song sparrow, which is a somewhat hard to find sparrow in winter, so that's exciting. So at least, even if we don't find anything else, we at least got one new bird here.
From University Bay, we headed to a place where a rare Harris's sparrow had been seen the day before. We added mourning dove and saw tons of house sparrows, but much like the Carolina wren, the Harris's sparrow never made an appearance. Just made a stop to try to find a Harris's sparrow without luck, so we missed on our Carolina wren and our Harris's sparrow. We didn't pick up any new birds at this stop, so We're kind of sputtering a little bit here, so hopefully we can pick up the momentum when we get to our next place to look for some waterfowl. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we started out doing pretty well. We got a good total with our first couple of stops, and now it's a little more dead, and we haven't really found any rarities. So now it's waterfowl time, and we'll see if we can up the total with some out-of-season ducks and maybe even some swans.
Yeah, it's getting closer to midday, so activity is expected to slow down, and that's a great time to look for waterfowl because they're going to be out regardless of time of day normally.
They don't really do anything.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll hit on some of those, and then we'll get some other targets. But I feel like that was kind of the two more rare things that we were looking for that we didn't see, and other people were out looking and they didn't see them either, so maybe they moved on. We turned our attention to ducks and swans, making our way to the Yahara River Parkway, where we succeeded in finding some water birds. We spotted some pigeons from the road, and now we have a trumpeter swan, American coot, a common goldeneye, and a merganser out here. So some good stuff on the Yahara River, I believe. A stop at another park on the water revealed 3 more new species. Made a quick stop at a park and saw a herring rainbow gull from really long range and a tundra swan. So we are adding some species with these quicker stops. We still have a lot of work to do if we want to eclipse our previous records from the first of the year trip. So we'll see how the rest of the day goes, but it gets dark so early that we're actually through like a decent part of the day already. And we're gonna start making our way east soon towards Milwaukee. See what we can find out that way. Next, we went to a location that would actually prove to be incredibly useful due to its duck diversity. Welcome to Graham Park.
Once you made it here, you've made it here.
That's great.
Graham Park worth it?
My favorite Graham Park.
You've been to others?
Nope. Picked up a lot of good waterfowl here at Graham Park. We had redhead, greater and lesser scaup, northern shoveler, and then an American widgeon. And then we had better looks at herring gulls and a lot of Canada geese here too. So, along with some other waterfowl we'd already seen. Moving east, we looked to find some gulls at the Johnson Creek landfill. We found a number of them loafing on some nearby ponds. We picked out a lesser blackback gull and a pure white Iceland gull.
Look at it. Like, it's so elegant looking compared to like what a glaucus would be. It's a really pretty gull. People say gulls aren't pretty, but this one is beautiful.
Sure it's not an ivory gull?
That would be amazing.
Double check. Just before leaving, Eric spotted some raptors soaring overhead. On the way out of the landfill, Eric had a clutch rough-legged hawk sighting and bald eagle sighting. And then after that, we've driven to Milwaukee, so we're at Lakeshore State Park here. We already had a red-breasted merganser. So we're just gonna take a look at everything. Someone gave us a tip on a canvasback that was here too, so hopefully we'll be able to pick that up.
We seem to have lost Eric though. I don't know where he's at.
We're still looking for Eric, but we're looking at the same canvasback apparently, so I think he's somewhere over on the other side, and we're on the other side of this bay. So we got the canvasback, so that's great. Now we'll see what else we can find, and we'll meet up with Eric wherever he happens to be. We eventually tracked down Eric, who had another clutch sighting when he found a great blackback gull way out on a break wall. Picked up canvasback and great blackback gull at this stop, so we're going to try to head to McKinley Marina to get bufflehead, then down to South Shore Yacht Club to get black duck and maybe 2 more species. So I'm thinking at this point it seems like our goal is about 50 species. So I think if we hit 50 or above, I'd be pretty pleased with the day.
I don't know what else we would find other than the bufflehead and the black duck though. Like maybe a clutch falcon species.
Well, they did have, someone had a white crowned sparrow and you had a sapsucker at Grant Park.
I don't know that we have enough time to get down there before
we're gonna be fighting the light, but we'll see.
Could be a couple,
could be a couple surprise things. Bufflehead or no bufflehead?
I think there will be a bufflehead. I see a ton of birds out there. They might be all scopping goldeneye, but there could be a bufflehead.
Eric, bufflehead or no bufflehead? What do you think?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, we got 2 yeses. Eventually, our efforts paid off. You got one?
Oh yeah, I got a whole pod of them. There's some males out there too. They all keep coming up and down.
We parted ways with Eric and drove south to a yacht club where we tallied another species.
Black duck, 49. Is there some way to get 50?
Tried a couple spots, couldn't come up with a 50th species, so we are gonna kind of call it a day for now and then maybe try to do some owling later to get to 50, because I think that'd just be way more satisfying than 49. Overall, we missed on some of the rare things, but it seemed like they just weren't gone. So I don't think we really missed them. I think they just weren't here anymore, which was too bad, but we saw a lot of the common stuff, and I think overall, you know, if you can get over 45, that's pretty good for first of the year in Wisconsin. Just before dark, we decided to make one last stop to try to get to 50. We decided to try a real Hail Mary pass. We stopped along the way to try to find some cedar waxwings at a place that we've seen them before. So we shall see. It's pretty late.
Quiet.
Yeah, it's very quiet. Normally we hear them if they're out here, but it is really late in the day. Shockingly, just as the light faded, we added a last bird of 2023. Well, we came here trying to find cedar waxwings, and we ended up calling white-throated sparrows, so we never got a look, but it sounds like there's more than one, and we've actually had white-throated sparrows here earlier this winter, actually, when it was the first snowfall of the season. We had them out here, but instead of being on this side, now they're over here. So that's our 50th bird. We ended the first day of 2023 with 50 species. We later learned that this was the highest total that anyone had reported for the day, at least on eBird. On this trip, we didn't find nearly the amount of state rarities that we did in years past, but we were still able to accumulate a nice total. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding.